Well, here we are. Been working on the exhaust now for a few months, putting this thing together, and it's a really time consuming process. But we've got the stainless steel manifolds from Speedway Motors here coming out of the Merlin heads. It's got a 3-inch collector here. I went with a 2.5-inch feed pipe to the turbo, and you can see, never mind them welds, it's all getting TIG welded. It's just tacked together. I know it looks like crap, but it's, anyways, it is what it is, but it's getting TIG welded together. So you can see the 2.5-inch pipe comes up. Everything's stainless steel. I hate working with stainless steel. I really hate stainless steel. And then that comes up here into this collector flange here. That's the wastegate coming out of there. So I've pieced all that together. You can get a pretty good angle there. And you can see the other 2.5-inch pipe there coming in. That goes down here around the radiator hose. That pipe that goes down there, that goes off this giant Turbonetics wastegate. You can see that pipe there comes back up under the radiator hose, goes back up behind the head up here. You can see it right there. And then it comes up, that's where it's coming from, down under that radiator hose. Then it comes up here and it goes up to the other Speedway Motors, a stainless steel cast header, all stainless. And what I've got here, I've got a Turbonetics GT55R ball bearing turbo. It's good for about 1,500 horsepower. It really doesn't do it any justice. Just to look at it here on the screen, this thing is just, it's massive, size of a basketball. That's the turbo. Then I've got a 5-inch downpipe, and this downpipe was exceptionally challenging. Again, it's all stainless steel. I did not want to cut the car up at all. I didn't want to cut into the firewall. I didn't want to cut the car up at all. As you can see right here, this piece here, it was going to hit the fender well, the inner fender well. So I took the original one out. I bought an aftermarket Chinese steel one from Summit Racing, and I'll show you how I modified that in a minute. So I've got this piece right here, goes from here down to there, and it's got these V-band clamps right here. It's got a V-band clamp there, and then it's got one right down there. So this whole piece right here can pop off in about 30 seconds, so I can access spark plugs, pull the valve covers off, and do whatever I need to do. I specifically designed it so you could take it on and take it off. I can take the entire exhaust off this car in less than 5 minutes, and it's all 5-inch. So the next thing we've got going here, is that pipe comes down there. That was a very difficult, let me get the light here, it was a very difficult pipe to create. The one, again, apologize for the welds. They will be fixed, they will look good. We've got that 5-inch pipe. If you look right here, I'm going to point at it with a light. If you look right here, this pipe up here is only about 1 foot long, but that pops right in and out. Does not interfere with the starter or anything else. You can still remove the starter, you can still get to everything. Then I've got a 5-inch down pipe under the car. Now, this is where it got a little tricky. This piece right here, and I'll put some pictures in the video. This piece right here, I took, let me see if I can get an angle on it here. I took a 2.5-inch piece of stainless exhaust, cut it the long way down the middle, calculated out with some simple mathematics. It's about 10.5 inches wide, this oval is. I had to do that to fit underneath this cross member, because I want 5-inch all the way out. And it just was not going to clear under the cross member. I could make it work, but every time you pull into a gas station, you get your exhaust hit, and I don't want that. And then I ballooned it back out to 5-inch. Let's see if we can get the light in here a little bit better. Back out to 5-inch. You can see the 5-inch runs up, runs straight on back, on down to a downturn right in front of the axle. To put this into perspective, that pipe that's cut off right there, that you can see, that old exhaust pipe, that's a 2.25-inch exhaust, dual exhaust that was on the car before. Now we got 5-inch. Now we got the real deal. So this thing should be good to go. I'm not going to run a muffler. The turbo should tone it down considerably. So anyways, this exhaust was very difficult it wasn't necessarily difficult, just very, very time consuming, but I'm glad it's finally tacked together. I finally finished it up today. I'm going to take all the pieces off, bring it over to my buddy's shop, and then TIG weld the whole thing up with some good stainless rod. By the way, the stainless rod I'm going to use is Eureka 505 stainless rod. It flows really nice, unlike a lot of other stainless rods like a 304. They're very difficult to weld with. The Eureka just flows beautifully. You can basically weld any kind of steel to any kind of steel, whether it's tool steel, mild steel, any kind of steel. The wire that I used to tack this together was a flux core MIG wire, stainless MIG wire, and that welds like total garbage. Some of the worst wire I've ever used, but it's okay for tacking. You got to do a tri-gas if you MIG weld, and I don't really care for MIG welders. They work, but it's not a TIG. It's not a great weld. So the amount of time I've got into this exhaust is probably upwards of 100 hours so far. And again, everything's stainless steel. So one more step closer to getting this thing down. I'm shooting for 950 horse. I want to get it on the dyno here in the next 2-3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. We'll see. Hopefully I don't break anything. Adios.